Welcome back to the game. Christmas came right on time for Barangay Ginebra after they took Game 1 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals against the Bay Area Dragons. Joining us tonight to break down the series opener as well as players to watch for the rest of the showdown is PBA Rush analyst Coach Charles Tiu. Coach, Merry Christmas and thank you for coming down from your short vacation. And you covered game number 1, right? Live sa itong game sa Mall of Asia Arena. I just wanted to ask you first, how was the atmosphere like with Ginebra and Bay Area in that game number 1?
Oh, it was a great atmosphere, to be honest. Sulit ang pagbaba ko. 98% Ginebra fans siguro. I think there's one section behind the bench of Bay Area na cheering for them. It was great. You know, it's amazing. I think it was 18,252 that showed up. So that was a great crowd. It was a fun atmosphere. You know, they started cheering for Ginebra. And it felt nice to see all those fans on Christmas Day.
Actually, sinasabi nga nila, Charles, singit ko lang, yung 52 daw na botal, mukhang yun lang yung hindi para sa Ginebra.
Baka.
Diba? Okay, I wanted to ask you, we just showed everybody the final score. It was 96-81. That was the lowest scoring output para sa Bay Area Dragons all throughout the conference. Were you surprised about anything that Ginebra did, or what did you see that that allowed them to stop Bay Area and limit them to just 81 points?
You know, you know how great Coach Tim Cone is defensively, right? And, you know, you expect them to really try to slow down Bay Area, a team that averages 110 points. But to hold them 30 points below their average, I think that's a great number. I give a lot of credit to Christian Stan Hardinger. And, you know, from the tip-off pa lang, every time naglalakad pa lang itong si Andrew Nicholson, binabangganan niya. He didn't let him get into his comfort zone. They really took them out of their offense. You know, obviously, they know the offense really relies a lot on Nicholson, and you know, when they kind of stopped him from getting into a flow, syempre medyo nung dulo siya uminit, pero tapos na yung game by then. You know, I give a lot of credit to the defense of Ginebra. I thought they did a great job in this game.
Well, let's pick up from that point. No, you mentioned Christian Stan Hardinger, and just last week we talked about Andrew Nicholson. I asked you, Coach, if siya ba yung tamang import for Bay Area. How would you rate his performance, I guess, in game number 1 of the finals? Kasi syempre iba yung elimination round. Ito finals na against Ginebra.
Well, I would say average. You know, against San Miguel, he was really great. But then again, now you have a guy like Christian Stan Hardinger. We saw what he did against Raposevic, against Magnolia. Really shut him down, got into his head, played him so physical, and took him out of his game. So he tried to do the same thing against Nicholson. Obviously, Nicholson's a more mature, more experienced player. So hindi madali to get him frustrated. He's always cool. But I thought the effort of Christian was great. I thought Japet came in and threw him off a bit. When Justin Brown, he had to guard him also a few times. He also was okay. But you know, they really did a good job on taking him out of his game. And with this Bay Area team, without Miles Powell, I think their guards aren't as good as creating offense. So if Nicholson isn't going to produce 30-plus points per game and be a guy who'll draw a double team, then it's going to be hard for them because, you know, with Miles Powell, they have a different dimension. This guy can just create. I think no Ginebra player can really slow him down one-on-one. But kay Nicholson, parang si Stan Hardinger, magaling ang scouting report nila kay Nicholson. They really took him out of his game. They ran him off the three-point line because this guy's a great shooter. And they made him work. I mean, obviously, it didn't help Nicholson that he missed a lot of free throws. But yeah, I think more than that, we have to give credit to Ginebra's defense.
Charles, after the game, Coach Tim Cone, one of the things he said was that they just got lucky. We know there were a lot of good things going on para sa Ginebra back in Game 1. Zhu Songwei foul trouble early in the first. You had Andrew Nicholson getting that F1 in the first half. Tapos Kobe Lam not feeling 100%. What are you expecting come Wednesday if these players are back in their A game?
Well, you know, I think you mentioned those guys. So those are really great points, Denise. But the one guy that was missing to me was Hayden Blantley. He was 0 for 9 from 3, I believe, and 0 for 7 the first half. By the time it reached the second half, he didn't want to shoot the ball anymore. But a lot of those three-point shots were open. And this is a guy who's shooting above 40% from 3, which is a great number. And if he's not going to help Bay Area, he couldn't defend that game. He couldn't score. It's going to be tough for them because he never had a lot of contributions. You know, obviously the starters, we talked about L.A., Scotty, Christian Stan Hardinger, Justin Brown, who's a given. Japet off the bench was solid. Stanley gave them quality minutes. I really think the advantage of Ginebra is their depth. I don't think Bay Area is as deep as Barangay Ginebra. So if that's the case, the starters really have to contribute. Here you see one dunk of Blankley, but all the other shots that he missed were wide open threes, and they need him to produce because Andrew Nicholson, as good as he is, won't be able to do it alone. I think Len Yang could have performed better. I thought LA Tenorio outshined him. But the role players of Bay Area, they're the ones who really have to step up, and they have to find a way to contribute. If not, Ginebra's just gonna find a way to stop them again and again on defense.
Siguro may onting halong malas din yung shooting ni Hayden Blankley. No? Just, he was trying to shoot from the outside but nothing going in for him. But if you're Ginebra right now, you can capitalize. What do they need to do siguro para to take a 2-0 advantage in this series?
Well, I think defensively they were great. Anytime you hold a team to 81 points, I don't care what team that is. That's a great number. So give credit to their coaching staff. They really scouted Bay Area well. They played the tendencies of the players well. They knew what they were running. So they have to stick to their same game plan defensively. Take those guys that they want out of the game. Kobe Lam had a hot start, but after that they adjusted. They didn't let him get going anymore. He was quiet the entire game after the first quarter. So that was great. Glenn Yang, they have to continue to kind of stifle him. He had, I think, 12 points, but he didn't really feel that because there were a lot of times maybe he could have created more, but he didn't. Andrew Nicholson will get his numbers. You could say they played great defense, but he still had 27 points. But it's the other guys. As long as they find a way to stop their other locals, then I think Ginebra will be okay. And then offensively, they gotta do what they keep on doing: share the ball, look for the mismatches to attack, and it's been a recipe of success for them, and it's been working for them.
Charles, you also mentioned names a while ago: Scotty Thompson, you have Justin Brownlee, LA Tenorio, of course. But I want to get your thoughts on Jamie Malonzo. The first time he got a basket was at the 5-minute mark, 5.5-minute mark of the third quarter. But plus 25 on that efficiency. Just your thoughts about his game.
Well, I'm a bit biased. Jamie's my guy, man. I had a chance to work with him. I love that guy. He's a great dude. But I thought he did a lot of things. He had the only basket he hit was a big three-pointer when they needed some separation, when they kind of had to quiet the run of Bay Area. But I like what he did defensively. He was very active on the boards. And more importantly to me, there was one play that I believe into the third quarter where he just dove for the ball. That's the will to win. You want that ball more than the opponents. He just sacrificed his body. And those are the little things that help the team win. He was really relentless. He played good defense. And with Jamie, you don't always need him to score, but as long as he does the little things, it will really help the team win because he's a versatile guy. He can guard 1, 2, 3, 4. He rebounds well. He's a floor spacer for them. So I thought Jamie was great. Despite not scoring much, he still rebounded. He still defended. And he did all the little things for them.
And like what we said, Coach Charles, this will be a long series. A lot of chances for these guys to step up and do more in the coming games for Ginebra and Bay Area as well. And as always, thank you for your insights dito sa PBA, Coach Charles.
Thank you also for talking to me about the PBA. Love talking ball.
All right, don't forget to catch Game 2 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals happening on Wednesday, December 28th at the Smart Navaneta Coliseum. Tune in live on One Sports, TV5, PBA Rush, and Signal HD.